Hello, neighbor, and welcome to this week's big show. It's National Love Your Neighbor Day, and what are we listening to? Mr. Rogers singing a little bit about a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm Mark Trowbridge from our Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce, and of course, I'm joined by my favorite neighbor, who I wished lived even closer to me, the one, the only Grant Miller, Miami's Community News.
I don't live in Miami Springs.
You know, you could. There's a lot of great houses for sale.
Is the market still good there, or is it just
pretty strong? And like most places, inventory is low and prices are a little bit elevated. And you can find yourself a great fixer-upper or a house that's been recently fixed up. My niece and nephew moved in a little more than 10, 11 months ago, and they have a house that is amazing. And they're already putting on a new addition that is in the ground as we speak. Yeah, a new big family room.
How exciting.
It is exciting. I always go in and look and say, is this where I'll be sleeping?
Miami Springs has great, rich Miami history.
It has great history. It was founded almost the same year as Coral Gables, and two pioneers and captains of industry in their own right. Glenn Curtis, who was an aviation giant, who still holds more patents in aviation than anyone else in history. Of course, founded not only Miami Springs, but Hialeah, and of course, the beautiful city of Opa-locka. And then you have, of course, George Merrick, who founded Coral Gables. I don't know if they ever met. There's nothing in the history books or the annals that say that they did. But they only live 7 miles apart, Coral Gables, Miami Springs.
But there was horseback, cars. There really wasn't a lot of roads back then.
Don't know if there was a lot of infrastructure. Of course, Mr. Curtis was instrumental in the airport being founded where it was, and still has his beautiful restored mansion there in Miami Springs. And, well, here we are, my friend.
Well,
it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Right, so what's up with Goldman Sachs? 10,000 small businesses? What's that all about?
Well, I had a great breakfast today with Pam Fuertes, who's their executive director. This program is going on 8 years old, and they're currently taking applications for the newest cohort that'll begin in January of 2022. And as you might imagine, they're looking for great small business owners, small business leaders who might be looking for a little boost, a little extra information, a little bit more, background and support and advocacy, and another arrow for their quiver. And so what do you have? A great opportunity to apply for that program and help your business grow in 2022. So thanks, Pam, for a great breakfast.
Where was it?
We went to Bashur for breakfast.
Wait, that is not fair. Why wasn't I invited? Geez. I love Bashur.
First of all, when I call you that time of the day, you're still doing stuff. You're doing your morning routine. You're out walking. You're exercising. You're taking care of yourself.
Okay, speak about working out. Let's talk about weekend. It was a great weekend for Gators. First of all, that quarterback is unbelievable.
Well, Emory's doing a good job, and Gator Nation was restless after the first and second game because they got a taste of true freshman Anthony Richardson and what he could do. But he hurt himself a little bit at the end of the USF game, and so Dan Mullins kept him out against Alabama.
Have you met Dan Mullins?
I have met Dan Mullins.
Is he a nice guy?
Seems like a nice guy. Typical coach, got a lot on his mind, and he came down here for a Gator gathering event a couple years ago at Marlins Park, at Lone Depot Park, and we had a chance to have a meet and greet with him, and it was really nice. And listen, I think Dan understands two things. Gator Nation is a very strong fan base. And two, when they are restless, you best pay attention. So I think he quieted people about having Anthony sit and putting the ball in Emory's hand. First of all, he recruited Emory, his first quarterback recruit at Florida when he became head coach a little more than 4 years ago. And two, Emory has waited his turn. He waited his turn behind Kyle Trask the last 2 years. And, he earned it against Alabama. He went wire to wire in that game and came within a 2-point conversion of tying that late in the fourth quarter. And, he ran him hard in the game against Tennessee. He had more than 300 all-purpose yards.
Tennessee, I thought that's Ron Sheffield's team.
Ron Sheffield,
Ron Sheffield, I know you're watching.
Went to the University of Tennessee. He is a volunteer through and through. And we gave him a good game. They always give us a good game. That's an Eastern Conference rivalry, just like Georgia is. And, we just had the better of them on Saturday night.
Okay. Saturday morning, you do Lifetime.
I do
It
almost
is
every
paying off.
Saturday.
You look completely different.
Oh, you're very sweet. Well, I just completed my my 8th week, and so I did a check-in today, a weigh-in, and body fat and body composition. So I've actually put on about 5 pounds, but my trainer says it's all muscle, and that my body fat is down almost 4% in those 8 weeks.
What does that mean?
It just means that, from a body mass index, I'm going in the right direction. So less fat, more muscle. I'm converting that fat into muscle. So all my numbers are going in the right direction, even with a little bit of a weight gain.
It's impressive that you're going. They work you hard.
I work out 4 to 5 times a week. This week I was doing a little colonoscopy prep on Sunday.
How
so I worked
exciting.
I worked out beforehand, which may not have been the best choice, but I was looking for things that would kill time because I wasn't going to be eating and I was going to be on a liquid diet. So I got there and worked out for about an hour and a half. And I took a shred class with Adriana from Brazil. And she had me working my tushy off in that shred class. High intensity, great music. And then I did a little cardio. And then I hung out in the whirlpool and let my muscles relax. Went and saw a movie. I worked at the office for a couple hours. And by then it was like, all right, I'm hungry, but I can make it.
Okay, so yesterday you had your little test.
I had my test in the morning.
What did you eat when you got home? Answer me. When I went, I had 2 shorties, 2 beefs, 2 fries, a baked bean, and a corn.
Well, first of all, shout out to Dr. Michelle Perlman from UHealth who did my colonoscopy. She's dynamic, young, fun. She had me super relaxed. I was her first surgery of the day on Monday, yesterday. And so I was in ready to go about 8:15. Next thing I know, it's 5 till 9, and I'm waking up in recovery. And
yeah, the Michael Jordan,
I had propofol, which is really delightful. And
Michael
out
Jackson
I went.
juice, right?
I was singing the Bangles' "Eternal Flame." She had music on, and I got to pick the song.
Wow.
And maybe Andres can pull that up. "Eternal Flame" by the Bangles.
Okay, so when they asked you to count backwards,
I think I made it to 9.
right.
I was like 10. And then I'm like, what happened? And they're like, the doctor will be in a few minutes. So here's the good news. I'm 53, first colonoscopy, a full screening of my colon, which I would recommend to everybody to do. They're now saying to do it earlier, like at 45, but a clean bill of health, no cancer markers. And I had a tiny little polyp, so small they couldn't even biopsy it. She just kind of cauterized it out of the colon. So I don't have to go back for 7 years. So yay, yay, yay.
Well, George Gonzalez, thank you for watching. And
thank you, George. Thanks for the support. And
Morgan.
Morgan, yes.
Good morning, Morgan.
I suggested to Morgan that we should have had a camera crew there because I think it's important.
I should have done a video.
Encourage people to get a screening.
I would go Grant Miller here and I go Grant Miller, Grant Miller, Grant Miller.
I would have been 10.
Okay, let's talk about tomorrow. It's pretty exciting. Tomorrow at 6:00, teams working together. The city.
Thursday.
That's Thursday. That's right. Thursday. You got the chamber. You got the city. And who else?
And the bid.
So
and merchants and business owners that are part of the downtown. We've encouraged them.
It's exciting that the 3. I call it the team of 3.
The triumvirate.
Yes, that they're all working together to make Coral Gables a better place.
I think so. The mayor's obviously had a campaign about us being more, proactive in pulling the weeds and keeping the downtown clean and clear of litter. And I think secondly, putting the onus on the businesses along with the city and the chamber and the bid being their champions, I think is a good thing. We're a keep Coral Gables beautiful city. So it falls kind of under that rubric as much as it does being a collaborative effort. So folks, if you're listening, join us, meet us at the chamber offices at 6 p.m. at 201 Alhambra Circle. And we'll be there. Probably just spend about an hour to 90 minutes picking up. We'll give you the equipment, the trash bags, the pickers, the vests. You don't have to bring anything. Bring your family. It's very family friendly. And we'll look forward to helping our downtown look even more beautiful than the city beautiful.
It's a tough challenge as a landlord, as a business owner who's responsible for it. Ultimately, between the two of them, the citizens and clients and visitors see that. They don't want to see. They don't want to see that. They want to see a beautiful sidewalk.
Everyone sees that. I think when people walk into a store, they notice 3 things. I think they see the windows in the store and the storefront, and how inviting is that. I think when they walk in, how are they greeted? How are they communicated with? And the third is just how welcome do I feel And that's what makes people come back to a store or to a restaurant when they feel connected like that. These are your neighbors, these are your friends, these are people you're very loyal to. I think about the places that I participate in and where I buy and where I get my hair cut and buy my suits. It all really comes down to
you're gonna have to buy new suits.
Comfortable. I know Alex is over in Italy now. I said buy some beautiful fabrics because I'm going to need at least 1 or 2 new suits before the end of the year, and probably a couple jackets. So not much fits right now. It's pretty bad.
That's all right. That's all good. Miami Spice, it ends Friday or Sunday?
So it ends on Thursday, but I do think people will, and restaurants will, extend that possibly to the end of October. So keep an eye on the ilovemiamispice.com website. And I think what you'll walk away with is some great Coral Gables restaurants and great South Florida restaurants. And by the way, if you have waited 7.5 weeks to try it out, don't wait any longer. Now is the time. Have you been doing any Miami Spice?
No, I don't. I order off the menu. No, I don't order the Miami Spice. I want to support. Problem. I want to support the businesses.
Well, you can do that. You just order a la carte on top of that, or you can order 2 meals.
Okay, Alhambra, you've been there 1 year and a week.
We've been there a year and 2 weeks, which is really cool because, as you can imagine, it was a difficult time to plan the move, ultimately make the move, and then, get in there and get settled and participate in the types of things. Parking is super easy out front. We've begun to get back into some hybrid format, and so it's pretty easy to park out front, whether you're coming for a committee meeting or board meeting. But I hope what you'll do is, if you haven't checked out our office, come by. We're open 8:30 to 5 Monday through Thursday and 8:30 to 4 on Fridays.
Just FYI, I was in the Gables today, and I ordered a takeout, and Andres is the producer today. Where do we order a takeout from?
Burger.
Thank you.
Delightful. What did you have, Andres? There's an Andres who works there.
It was a takeout.
Which one? The blue burger?
No, I got a big whole burger.
Yeah, it's just a regular burger.
Yeah.
Don't confuse them over there.
That sounds like it's not on the menu. It sounds like you're like, I just want a big, regular, juicy burger.
That's what we did. So, but
what did you get?
A clutch burger.
What do I get?
You get the leftovers. All right. Return to live events. It's slowly getting there.
It's slow, but as you might imagine, I think it's it's the right way to do things. I see what some other organizations are doing, and it makes me a little bit nervous when they do tables of 10 or 12 and people aren't wearing masks. I would never want to put anybody in any type of jeopardy, and we just have to continue to be diligent. So right now, as we wrap up September, we really have only had maybe 2 events in person. We'll have had a wind down Wednesday in person, and we'll have had the breakfast. Next month, we're going to ramp that up a little bit. We're going to try a reconnect and a wind down Wednesday in person. We're going to try a couple of other things like the breakfast and maybe the impact seminar in person. Not sure when the women's lunch will come back or the trustee lunch, but sometime within the next, I would say, 30 to 60 days.
I was at CHI big events Saturday night.
Their big anniversary.
And everybody had masks.
Sure. Well, they have to walk the talk. I mean, they are on the forefront, and they are part of the essential workers who have been taking care of people. That's where I got my first and second vaccination.
Me too.
And they were terrific to work with back in early 2021. And, I just really appreciate folks who are on that front line and making sure that those who want the shot get the shot. And you saw yesterday that the president got his booster. And so, continuing to ramp up, the rollout of that program, as long as reminding folks get the shot.
So the morning breakfast you had last Thursday.
Yeah.
Your chairman,
Anna Chowie,
knocked it out of the park.
She did a great job.
She might be the one of the best because you could feel her passion. She just loved. She recognized her family. She recognized her kids, and it was really one of the best. All the chairmen have been great, but you could feel it. She appreciated being in that position.
Well, she's waited a long time for that moment. It's been a difficult year to be chair-elect, let alone chair. She didn't get to have the traditional annual conference like all of her peers. We're still hoping that'll happen sometime in November, even in a smaller scale. But I can tell you quite candidly, she is, like I am, wanting to see everybody back reunited and in person. And it isn't necessarily happening in the same time frame or in the same pace that we would like to. But that doesn't mean we are deterred, and it doesn't mean that we give up.
In LinkedIn, I call it Coconut Grove, but it's Grove Trust. Grove
Bank and Trust
had a nice little promoting her.
Yes,
it was very nice. So thank you. What's the CEO of the bank?
Sheldon Anderson. And of course, I want to thank Christine Wool, who works with the team over there on the marketing communications. They really wanted to do a big rollout with the installation and the breakfast on the 23rd, and we were absolutely excited about that, and we shared a lot of that and reshared it. Obviously we did a little bit of a teaser on September 1, kind of get to meet Anna. And what's nice is when that
getting
team
to know you
works with us, that we have an opportunity to collaborate and get as much information about Anna out there, because she's going to serve for the next year. Can't believe it's already almost 1 month done. Doesn't it go fast?
It flies by.
Yeah.
So let's start about wrapping up the month. You got a retail boot camp?
We do. We're partnering with the city and the bid, and we're doing that virtually Thursday from 2 to 4. So ahead of the cleanup, we're working with Shama Megger with Scaling Retail, and it'll be a 4-week series really designed for our small retail businesses and our restaurants. And there's still space available. I think we've got about 30 people already registered. And I know it's a bit of a commitment, but it's one that we see as essential to helping your business really close out Q4 and the end of 2021. Think about what's on the horizon. So you've got, Small Business Saturday at the end of November. You've got the holiday retail season, and you've got major events between now and then in terms of things like Halloween. A lot of discussion with the CDC about not having Halloween in the communities. And I know families are just distraught over that because they've already had their kids home one whole cycle. And does that mean that, you just don't do it again? So we'll see what happens. Our numbers are going in the right direction, but we have to continue to be diligent. Get the shot, wear your mask.
No, get your shot, and then get your booster
of one another.
Get your flu shot.
I'm getting my flu shot on Saturday, and I'm going to Walgreens to do that.
I already got my flu shot. Okay.
How did it go? Were you tired after?
I'm always tired.
I know. Poor thing.
Okay, October calendar. What we got? We got a lot of things you guys.
We got, and I see that our October 6th Reconnect and Wind Down Wednesday are both sold out, and that's mostly because they are somewhat space limited.
Can we get on the waiting list?
Don't know if we'll do a waiting list, maybe other than for Reconnect, but I'm sure space will end up opening up for the Wind Down Wednesday. That's at Zuka.
Where's Zuka?
That is right behind our office there in the beautiful Hotel San Michel.
Oh, right across the street.
Right across the street, 1 block away.
Well, that's that fancy place.
It is delightful, and they have that beautiful outdoor area. So join us.
That's real fancy.
But this Friday, we've got a Tro Nose on Friday, and there's still space available. That's virtual.
Okay, and who's?
We're going to have Barry Newport, who's the new executive director and artistic director at Gable Stage. You know that over almost a year ago, Joe Adler passed away, the longtime founder, director, and creative force behind Gable Stage. And they brought Barry in from Penobscot, Maine, and she's got a real vision for what the Gable Stage will look like going forward, and their alliance with the Coconut Grove Theater.
The Tro Nose, how long's it been going on? About 5
year
years?
11. We're kicking off year 11, and we've been kicking it off lately in October, and really coalescing around the arts. And so Barry's a great get because she's brand new to the community.
I haven't gone to a lot of them, but the ones I go to, you learn so much more about their business and how they perform, these people. It's totally impressive.
You learn through the lens of them as entrepreneurs, as individuals, as folks who wake up each day like we do, who might have a failure, who might have, a challenge, but they also enjoy great success. So it's always the story behind the story. What I like to say is what we're going to talk about, you're never going to see in a bio or a resume or a CV or on LinkedIn. We're going to talk about your family growing up, who influenced you. We're going to talk about the people now who have helped shape you. We're going to talk about your challenges. Where have you, fallen down? Where have you gotten back up? Barry Newport, plenty of space. And then we have our book club. And I have to tell you, We have a guy named Richard Saul Werman, who is the founder of the TED Conference, speaking with us.
When?
And this Friday. And I had a pre-chat with him today. First of all, he's fascinating. Second of all, he's written dozens of books. But more importantly, he's just the most curious person. And he's 86 years old. And he's going to be with us. And we're just going to cover a lot of different topics. But he's written most recently on the topic of understanding. And he recently released a book on mortality. And I asked him today, I said, are you thinking about mortality because you're 86 years old? And he said, no, I'm just thinking about it because I'm thinking about it.
Wow.
I want to be that inquisitive at 56, let alone 86. Great guy. That's Friday at noon, virtual. No cost to participate in that. Richard Saul Werman. Look him up if you haven't before. He is fascinating.
I know you've done a lot of people Tronos.
Yeah,
Who's
over
your
the years.
favorite?
Gosh, that's a tough one.
David Lawrence, was that a Tronos or just a book review?
That was a book club pre-event that we did with his new book that now was several years ago.
Who's
You
your
know, I've probably done 10 a year for 10 years. So let's say there's 100
favorite? Just say 100.
people. You know, I think some of it comes down to folks that wouldn't normally do something like that. So I did one with Alberto Carvalho a number of years
That's
ago.
unusual for him.
Not really his scene or style, but it was really fantastic. You know, one, I think he really gave the audience an inside view of him and growing up and leaving his family and country at 17, coming here, working in a kitchen, learning English while working in the kitchen.
What's his norm? Where's he from?
From Portugal.
And they speak Portuguese.
Sure.
Do you know speak Portuguese?
I do not.
Oh.
I know people that speak Portuguese.
So who else? Give me some other ones in the history.
You know, probably really loved doing a duo. We had Christina Pappas and her dad, Mike Pappas.
That was a good one.
Together, father-daughter duo. That was a lot of fun. You know, I've always wanted to do that with the Medinas. We haven't quite made that happen as of yet. But I think family business has a totally different dynamic than you do with folks who are, you know, maybe buying a business or starting a business. You know, will it go to a second generation? More than half of businesses don't ever make it to a second generation. And half of those only make it to a third generation.
Some go to 7 generations.
Well, there you go, right, Andres? The Penas. But I will tell you this, you know, everybody that sits in that chair, I learned something from. There's always something that's a bit of a surprise. You know, it's not a Barbara Walters type interview. The goal is not to have somebody cry or become emotional or.
I would be emotional if I talked to you one-on-one.
You think so?
I get emotional right now.
I'm emotional too.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Look at that glass right in between us. Okay, what about Impact? What's up with that?
So we're working. It's going to be Disability Awareness Month is October. So we're working with Vanel Martinez, who's our committee chair for Impact and Small Business. We're working with Vanessa Liebel, who's with Choice MD, who's our representative on the city's Disability Affairs Committee, Mary Palacio Pike from Crystal Academy. So the focus is really going to be on folks with disabilities, both physical and emotional, and how you as an employer can bring those folks into your organization and find great success. A lot of the folks are underemployed, definitely want to work. It's very difficult to get into the workforce when you have a disability. And so we want to encourage that across the entire spectrum of our chamber membership. So the good news is that we have some really great leading voices who will be on a panel, and that's going to be in mid-October. So that's coming up. 20th to be exact.
The conference got moved back to late November?
Yeah, we're hoping that's going to be in November 5th. Still getting some feedback from our friends at Doctors Hospital, but I hope we'll be ready to make an announcement by the end of the week, October 1, so that we're about 4 to 5 weeks out in terms of promotion. We had a great lineup of speakers. We're going to go back to that group and hope that, you know, most of them are available. But fingers crossed that as things continue to improve, our friends at Baptist Health and doctors will be comfortable.
Who's the CEO of Doctors?
Javier Hernandez Lichtel.
2 last names, right? Okay.
He does have 2
we
names.
We only have
one. It's hyphenated.
We have 2 days left, right? Or 3 days?
4.
End
The
of
month.
September. The sales.
Yeah, 3 days.
Okay. And
Really 2. I mean, they're sweating it out at the office. Nobody's talking to me at the moment because I've given the reminder that our expectation has not changed since September 1, even if folks think that it has. So, we're working on retention. We're working on sales. We're still 3 trustees short. We have been for almost 3.5 weeks. So if you're thinking about joining our chamber, upgrading your membership, this is the week to do it.
Well, if you're going to join, as we talked about, you're going to join, you need to be involved. Just don't join, put the money. You have to come to all the events. You have to be part of it. You got to get on. If there's committees, are there committees they could be on?
Plenty of committees, probably about 15 working committees, everything from small business to, some of our special events to our women's committee, you name it.
And if you like, you can stand next to me. If you're a trustee, you can stand next to me at every meeting. I'll introduce you.
Stand and deliver, my friend.
Yeah, I will introduce you to 75 people the first day you walk in. Let's talk about we need 4 trustees, you said?
We need 4 total for the month. We have 1 that came in several weeks ago, and we're trying to close 2 more between now and Thursday at 5.
What's the plans for our gems? That's the big boys.
Yeah, so we've been working with the University of Miami on putting together kind of a roundtable series. So I was actually emailing with Dean Quelch over the weekend.
Dean, who's he?
John Quelch is the dean of the School of Business at Miami, and we have an idea of something we'd like to do. So he gave me the go-ahead to start putting that together. And, we're trying to put together an event next Monday, but I don't think it's going to end up happening. We just haven't gotten the level of response or support. So I'd just rather not mention that.
What else is going on? It seems so quiet in the Gables.
I don't think it's quiet at all. I was out and about today, and it was really thriving. Beautiful day to be outside. Beautiful day to be outside having lunch. I think.
Where do you have? You had lunch where?
I had lunch at Porto Sole today.
Wow.
With our retail strategist, Francesca Valdez, and one of our great property reps, Truman Skinner, who represents the McBride family, who owns where the old Woolworths was, but now where you have the Barnes & Noble, the McBride Pocket Park, where we have the new murals, which are being dedicated this Friday, October 1 at 5:30 p.m. The Chamber is one of the partners, but it's really put together by the city and the bid. We've put together the official map of the event, which drives you back to our official welcome center, which is open at 201 Alhambra Circle.
Regarding Coral Gables. No, you get me all nervous.
I do?
Yeah.
You get nervous?
All the restaurants and things that are going on.
Yeah. This is our busy season. When we get into October, we are officially
rock and rolling
season because the weather's a little bit better. There's a lot of events. I think a lot of organizations have kicked the can down the road 2, 3, 4 times. And so now what they're trying to do is put their, imprint on that date. And so I know in October already a number of galas that are taking place, and I'll be emceeing one of those, the Bose Arts Gala.
That's being held down south.
It's a little bit further south. Yeah, they moved it from Brickell down south to an outdoor venue.
Is it outdoor or indoor outdoor?
It's outdoor with a tent.
Yes, it's at the park at 170.
It's in Pinecrest.
Palmetto Bay, I thought.
Maybe Palmetto Bay. It's south of here.
It's south of that's
Before I was going to have to go north. Now I'm going to go south. But Francesca Valdez is the ball chair, and we're excited to be doing events.
There's so many great things are happening. Coral Gables is really the new downtown, as we talked about this all the time.
Yeah,
lawyers are moving downtown. It's migrating. And I told the lady of the bid, what's her first name again?
Aura,
I met her for the first time, that I love when I drive through Coral Gables and the police officers are parked in the middle of Miracle Mile. And they're just there, and it keeps the streets calmer. People feel comfortable walking Coral Gables at nighttime. Do you agree?
I think so. There's tremendous presence, if you will, whether that's from our police force or from our ambassadors or just, folks who are engaged in the life of the community. They're very committed to, a downtown that is bright and accessible and well-trafficked. And of course, safe. And I feel very comfortable and confident saying that. And as of Thursday, even cleaner than it's ever been. 6:00. Join us. We'll welcome you to our office. Should be a beautiful night.
Where they meet at your place?
At our office, 201.
And then we're gonna walk where?
So we're gonna kind of fan out into 3 areas. I've kind of designed it along Miracle Mile, Ponce de Leon up to Alhambra Circle, and then if we have enough volunteers, some of the side streets east and west.
You don't have to. Do you have to be a member of the chamber to come?
Oh no, not at all. Our goal is to have the community involved. So if you have a business downtown, if you want to bring your family, if you have kids that need volunteer hours, this is the perfect place and opportunity to do it. And I really want to, commend the mayor because he reached out to Aura and I several weeks ago. We've been on a fact-finding mission to what we can be doing to address some of the overgrown weeds and some of the trash. And, there are some unfortunate realities that people aren't picking up trash like they used to because we don't touch anything on the ground anymore. But we can all play a part. The city is going to be there, of course, the bid, and we're going to try to get as many of our businesses. Just come out for an hour and 30 minutes with us.
You'll take everybody out for a drink, right?
And afterwards, we'll have you over.
To your place.
Sure, why not?
Well, it's a wrap. I think we knocked everything out of the box
today. Are you sure we've covered everything?
I went.
Your printer was on the fritz. I talked a little bit about that. So our goal is to grow our gems by 4 over the next year, and so working with our team on that. They need to kind of hunker down right now and stay focused on the trustees for September, but got a few in our line of sight that we'd like to upgrade. We've got 21 now. We'd like to grow to 25, and as you can imagine, that just continues to help the chamber achieve our goals of being as frontward facing, outward facing, and focused on you and your needs as ever.
Next good morning breakfast. Who's the speaker? Do you know already?
I don't know the names of the speakers, but I know it's a panel discussion, and it's sponsored by UHealth. And it's October 21st. Yeah, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we typically do something in that space. I think one of them is a reconstructive specialist. And then I think the other one is going to talk about for women's health, having sex after cancer. And so a lot of folks, there are intimacy issues. So it's going to be a pretty candid breakfast. And then it's also our kickoff to the arts season. So we'll be doing a little bit of that in October, a little bit in November. Some of the arts groups have pushed their opening weekends into November, like Actors Playhouse is opening in November, although they've done a show, Fuakata, that was kind of the end of their summer series that went into early September. And I know that Gable Stage is opening in November as well. You'll hear about that Friday with Barry Newport. So if you love the arts, this is your season. I'm very blessed. I chair the New World School of the Arts Board. I'm on the Zoetic Stage Board of Directors. Anything that involves the arts, Seraphic Fire, I'm on their executive committee. These are organizations that bring so much of what we refer to at times as the quality of life in our community, but it really makes life more special. And we've been so disconnected, and everybody has tried in every way possible, whether it's through virtual opportunities or, replaying of concerts or watching performances on Zoom. Nothing beats being in the arena, being in the venue, being in the theater, closing your eyes and listening to an incredible piece of music, or listening to a monologue, or watching new theater be debuted right here. And we're really lucky. We have in Coral Gables alone, we have a number of live theaters. I mentioned already, of course, Gable Stage and Actors Playhouse, but you have the Jerry Herman Ring Theater, where students who are outstanding at the University of Miami perform. Our friends at Area Stage. Now, they've moved a little bit further south right now while they're in the process of trying to build their new home and have a new home. They're still very connected to us. So lots of great live theater. There'll be great concerts. But get out and support your local arts groups. Really appreciate that.
George had a little problem with freebies.
Yes, the freebie folks, John and his team, they're great. So
if you have a problem, George,
remember it's 2 E's, 2 E's.
2 E's for what?
Freebie.
Okay.
F-R-E-E-B-E.
George, you have a problem, reach out to Mark. He'll take care of it.
George likes to park very far from Giralda when
I'm sure he doesn't want to.
Is that so you can then kind of walk it off? I think that's a great idea. So John from Freebie actually wrote me over the weekend that they're looking to increase their fleet. Right now you've got 2 major issues. One, there's only 3 vehicles in the fleet, 4 if you count their disabled one for disabled passengers. And with the social distancing, you can't load them up with 5 passengers like you used to be able to. And so they used to do multiple stops. So you're just going to have to walk more, George. We'll get the more carts later, but please walk, okay? Hello.
Wait,
Wearing the colors to my burnt orange.
wearing the color. Wait, what's it say?
She thinks I'm wearing University of Texas colors.
Oh,
Is that right, Gia?
wait. Why did she say love Mark? Why didn't she say love Mark and Grant?
Well, there's two reasons for that. When you tell people that you love them, you take that seriously and then you stalk them. When I hear it, I take it as a sign of affirmation and appreciation. But you know what, Gia? If you want to think these are Longhorn colors, that's awesome. But what you should know is when you look really closely, I don't know if you can see it, orange and blue buttons, blue buttonhole, and inside, really cool, my name in blue. But the coolest about this is what I'm going to do now. I don't know if you can go in tight, but check this out. What does that say, Grant?
Mr. Coral Gables
On the inside of my collar. So anyway, I don't know much about what's going on at UT Austin. I think they have a football team, right? But I will tell you, I've been to the campus and I've been to Austin. Great city, great for retail, great for unusual small business. Lovely people. And we stayed downtown at the Aloft Hotel, and we went to the Lyndon Baines Johnson Presidential Library, which was a real highlight. And what a great, great city. So we'll give a little shout out to the Horns. I don't know if I do it right, but Hook 'em Horns. They're going to be part of our conference soon, right? Aren't they moving into the SEC?
Of course.
We'll be welcoming them in Oklahoma in 2024, maybe 2025. So we'll look forward to playing on the gridiron more. We've played Oklahoma in the past, but that was in a national championship game, which we won 24-14 right here at Hard Rock Stadium.
I was there.
Won our third national championship. I was there. Tim Tebow, Bobby Stoops, our old defensive coordinator, was the head coach
of Oklahoma.
And Timmy and the guys had the better of the Longhorns that day. Sam Bradford was their quarterback. It was pretty cool. I can't remember playing Texas, though, but they have a pretty good team. So Grant needs a jacket from Alex's shop. We should go shopping together. What a great video that would be. We'll take Howard and Tommy and the whole crew, and we'll do 2 fittings.
What is this like
twins?
Right.
What are you wearing a jacket?
44.
Long.
Very long.
Stout.
I don't know.
Pequeña.
And whatever you say. All right, it's a wrap. Let's talk about wrapping this up. Chamber of Commerce.
Goodness.
So many good things are happening.
Well, I can't believe that we're coming to the end of September. Unbelievably quick month. And October is on the horizon. For many of you, that starts Q4 of 2021. A month that needs to really be successful, really thrive. And the only way to do that is for all of you listening to head out and support your small business friends and family and neighbors. Shop local, buy local, support local, and local will thrive. It takes you, my friends. And if you're not a member of our chamber yet, well, please join us. We'd love to have you. Our family has really grown over the last 3 or 4 months, thanks to so many of you. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank Grant Miller for being one of the greatest supporters and proponents of all things small business. He is, after all, Grant Miller here!
Have a great day. Oh, he's playing a song.